What's up, Enduro guys? This is your program for the 17th of March, and we're going to be going straight into some posterior chain development, speed and power work in the form of deadlifts and double kettlebell swings. Now, on day 4, so skipping ahead now, at the end of this video, I'm going to talk about lots of mobility exercises that you can do on day 4. Integrate those into warm-ups for this type of work. So lots of banded distraction foam rolling, end range movements. So check that out as some inspiration for the warm-up for this workout. Now, that said, that isn't the holistic warm-up that I promised. This is an interim measure. Those warm-up videos are coming soon. We're working on them. So check out day 4, crack on with day 1 using some of those mobility techniques. So it's going to be 7 rounds of 3 deadlifts, 5 double kettlebell swings. So 3 deadlifts, going to be reasonably heavy, percentages on the PDF. So you're going to do these with purpose, step forwards, grabbing 2 kettlebells, drive with 5 big hip opening swings. So the reason why we're doing double is so that your legs are inside. We're going to get some internal rotation, and all of that is going to focus on glutes and hamstrings, exactly where we want to work today. So, percentages for the deadlifts on the PDF. Challenge yourself with heavy kettlebells. Now stay safe on this. Rest plenty in between so that you get the benefits and you're not going to be fatiguing yourself. Stay safe. So priority is always on these movements to maintain your natural spinal curve. If in doubt, film yourself from the side, take a look at it. If you look a bit shady, then reduce the weight and stay safe. So I don't need to get an assault bike out. You're going to do 30 minutes. So this is 30 rounds of 40 seconds on and 20 seconds off, continual. So in those 20 seconds off, I advise that you fully take your feet off, you put them on the pegs, and you fully relax. Try and get your heart rate down, and then go again for 40 seconds, consistent intervals all the way through. An assault bike is the preferred. Second to that, turbo trainer. Third, rowing machine, then ski erg, and then all kinds of things. You could even do this with a sled push if you particularly wanted to. And then we're going to move on. So once you've done that and recovered, some side planks, bridging a gap. So you might have seen these before. 3 to 5 times either side. So you're going to hang over a gap and then drive up. It's a nice dynamic movement for the obliques. 3 to 5 times, as many reps as you can per time. And then that's that for day 1. Moving on to day 2. Starting hands reasonably close, drive off the ground onto the plates, press up, back down, bam. So you're going to do 25 to 30 total in sets of no more than 5. If you can do 5, increase the weight, the height of the plate. If you can't do that on your toes, then by all means, do it on your knees. You get the same range, drive, same range, through the shoulder with a nice big push. The purpose of this being pushing the ground away, getting some real speed and power through that pressing. So on the knees with higher plates is better than on the ground, on your toes on lower plates. So superset that with some chest to bar pull-ups. Chest to bar pull-ups? What the hell are they? Well, they are chest, so anywhere from your collarbone down, making contact in the bar. Strict chest to bars. So contact the bar each time. I'm under no illusion that that's going to be really hard for some people. So use a band, use multiple bands, or use a lat pull down machine. So if you have a lat pull down machine, use that, but try and stay reasonably vertical and not too much lean back in sets of no more than 5, and again 25 to 30 reps total. Then moving on from the strength work, strength and speed and power work, to the actual workout for the day, which is going to be, so the workout part B on day 2 is simply 5 rounds for time, 100-meter farmer carry, 20 calorie row. So the farmer carry is simply 2 super heavy. If you can do heavy kettlebell, so 24s would be great, 32s if you have them, even farmer handles if you have them. 100 meters and then straight back in onto a rowing machine for 20 calories and then 5 rounds with no rest in between. And that's that for day 2. Moving on to day 3, a very interesting workout. So you're going to do this in 2 minutes on, 1 minute off, alternating between devil press and burpees, back squat and over box jumps. You're going to do 5 rounds of that, so you end up doing 5 lots of devil press and burpees, 5 lots of back squat, over box jumps. Now, if you can't alternate, don't stress it. Do all 5 of one, then move on and do all 5 of the other. It's not ideal, but I know that some people struggle to be chopping and changing in the gyms that they're training in. So devil press, hands on the dumbbells, press, stand, drive all the way to the top. So it's like a double-handed snatch. You're going to do 7 of those and then as many burpees as you can in the remaining time, of which there's 2 minutes. So if you get the 7 done in 30 seconds, then you'll have obviously a minute and a half to do as many burpees as you can. Then in the minute off, you're going to come over, you're going to set up your bar all ready for 5 back squats. Percentages on the PDF. Once you've done those 5, in the remaining time, as many box jump overs as you can, being nice and safe. So you can go sideways on those or straight on. And that's part A done. Part B of day 3, you're going to row as far as you can in 20 minutes. Every 2 minutes, hop off and do as many toes to bar as you can. So this is a very good closing of the hip as opposed to the opening of a rowing machine. You can use a static bike, an assault bike, a ski erg, anything like that if you want. If you can't do full toes to bar, then knee raises or straight leg raises, absolutely fine. And then full on capacity day for day 3, done. So day 4 is optional capacity and core work or recovery. So you can probably do a few variations of this depending on how you're feeling and how much work you put in through the week. So let's say you've had a real tough week on the bike, you've hit all 3 days in the gym, then you're going to want to do 2 minutes light or steady state cardio and then come off and do 2 minutes mobility. So 40 to 60 minutes of moving and opening up. And this is going to set you up for the weekend and the following week's training. If you feel like you've got lots of energy, you've recovered well, slept well, you haven't had much bike time, then by all means turn this into a capacity workout by doing 40 to 60 minutes of 2 minutes reasonably fast, high-paced cardio, and then 2 minutes of core work. So between each piece of cardio equipment, so it could be a rower, probably a static bike would be best today, an assault bike, a ski erg, or even mixing those up between the things. Then you're going to do some plank holds, so straight plank holds and Russian twists. A full 2 minutes on each if you can, or alternating. So there's some variation in there in the core work that you can do. As for the mobility work, if this is a recovery day, then I'm going to give you some suggestions today as to what to do. So, to start with, you've done your 2 minutes steady state cardio. We're going to take a look at different mobility exercises for you. So these are things that you can do on rest days. These are things that you can do as warm-ups. But what I like to do is, whilst we're in this format of doing 2 minutes steady state cardio and 2 minutes mobility, spending a whole 2 minutes on a particular area. So focus on your left ankle to start. So this banded distraction works really well to add some tension into the joint so that you can push and get into an extreme position with added benefit. So I'd spend 2 minutes pushing your knee as far forward of your toe as possible with as much weight as you can bear, with a little bit of movement between. Reasonably static hold, but nice push through. You spend a full 2 minutes doing that, then swapping to the other side after another 2-minute cardio. Then once you've done both sides, putting the band up right to your crotch, foot on a box. Your knee now is going to go further over your toe than it would have done before doing that first element of mobility. So what you want to do now is pushing it forwards, then out to the side 45 degrees. Imagine a semicircle in this front plane here of your hip, and just be grinding out for a full 2 minutes here. Then back on the bike or whatever, do the other side, and then swap again. Same with the band, super high on your hip, turning your foot onto its outside against the box. You can also do all of these on the ground. I prefer to use a box because you can add more weight and more leverage onto that joint area. And then rolling over so your shin hits the box, and then dipping down. You can change direction with your torso depending on where it's tight, but that band really does help manipulate that socket and open up your hips. So that's 3 lower body exercises to start. Then a foam roller would be great. Central to your upper mid back. So imagine your bra strap, if you wear bras, and then crossing your hands over your chest, head on the ground behind, and then drop your hips underneath, and then see how you cope with that. You really can't see that, can you? So the point of this is not to be rolling out your lower back, but to be opening up your thoracic spine. So your upper back, rolling over. You can do a little side to side action, but be careful with that. So 2 minutes there would be great. Then, rolling out your quads. So of the hip movements that we did, you're going to want to roll out your quads first. So spend 2 minutes on your right quad, full roll out. Then a full 2 minutes in a couch stretch, which is foot up a wall or on a box. Have the ab mat there to make it more comfortable, and then sitting upright here, pushing your butt back to your heel, keeping your neutral spine. You'll feel that right down your hip flexor and into your quad. Fantastic movement for office workers that are tight, people that drive, generally get tight hip flexors, putting their pelvis out of position. So loosening up the front quad here is fantastic. And then we've done lots of lower body, thoracic spine, up to shoulders. So important to have nice, flexible, functioning shoulders also. Same leg back as is holding the band, and then out to the opposite side and dropping your chest down here. That's going to really open up your lats. So there's big muscle on your back. Stay there for 2 minutes. Flip over, put your elbow in, walk forwards. This is going to open your lats as well, a little bit of your shoulder and your pec. You can do this stretch down your back. This is a really effective stretch. And I know it's proper old school, but this is a really good stretch for you. Reaching down your back, a little kink to the side if you like. So lots and lots of movements there. 2 minutes on each one, so that's 2 minutes aside, and then moving on to the next. It's important that you do these with the cardio on this specific day, but by all means do these daily elsewhere in warm-ups and cool-downs. Now this is by no means the video about that. Those videos are to come. This is just an interim measure so that you can see what we're talking about when we talk about mobility and recovery. And that's that for day 4. So if you've got any questions, send them over via email, messenger, and happy riding, happy gymming. I'll see you next week. Peace.